Tonight, we report on a scam targeting Grant County PUD customers and a new business in Ephrata. What's going on in sports, Bob?
A Warden teen readies for the National Junior High School Rodeo, and the Walleyes come back to beat the Desert Sox. Here's a peek at our Weather Center forecast.
And it looks as though we settle into a little unsettled weather pattern and, of course, a little bit below normal temperatures. It looks like it'll last right to the weekend. All the details coming up.
I'm Bethany Jenks. Stay tuned for all of this and much more on iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News. Your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
People driving through Moses Lake on State Route 17 may see new signs for retailers. The City Council approved the first reading of an ordinance on Tuesday to allow commercial property owners within 1,500 feet of the highway to build 40-foot tall signs. The code presently only allows 25-foot tall signs in the area. Community Development Director Gilbert Alvarado said the signs are to attract customers to businesses. Until 1999, commercial property owners could erect signs along the highway. Alvarado said he wasn't sure why it was removed. Kim Foster of the ASPI Group, which owns the former Kmart building, asked for the change to help future retail stores advertise their businesses. Foster wouldn't say who is moving into the new Kmart building. Soap Lake is hosting their second annual Del Red Pub Hydroplane Regatta this weekend. Reporter Jeff Chu has the details.
Up to 65 entries are expected to race in this weekend's second annual Del Red Pub Soap Lake Hydroplane Regatta. Race organizer Terry Anderson said the outboard youth class race should start at 10 a.m. Saturday with the inboard hydroplanes to follow. Josh Harnack of Spokane, the new national modified world record holder on the 1 2/3 mile course, who averaged 117 miles per hour, will compete at the Del Red Regatta with an eye toward upping his record. The event opens Saturday with a tribute to Don Kelson of Burien, who has designed and built 70 hydroplane boats over his 60-year racing career. Anderson said the best place to watch the race is from Smokeyam Park, formerly known as East Beach. Another good spot to watch the race is on the shore just north of the City Recreational Vehicle Park off State Route 17. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
Thanks, Jeff. Scam artists are targeting Grant County PUD customers in Ephrata. At least 4 customers received a phone call warning them their power was going to be turned off in an hour unless they made a payment. PUD spokesman Chuck Allen said the caller instructed people to get a prepaid credit card with a specified amount on it and call the utility back. Allen said people should check their caller ID when they receive the call, and if it doesn't show the call coming from Grant PUD, if the caller is rude or if they're asking for a payment with a prepaid credit card, they should hang up and contact PUD customer service. Grant PUD customer service can be contacted at 509-766-2505. A new business opened in Ephrata and hopes to offer something for shoppers. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
Jennifer Pierce's new Ephrata business started with a Facebook group connecting 3,500 mothers. Today, she has a storefront boutique at 132 West Division Avenue and sells new and gently used children's clothing. It's called the Red Tricycle.
As our group kind of started to grow, we started to realize that we all had an abundance of children's clothing, and that instead of just talking about it and telling everybody where we were buying stuff on sale, we decided we would just kind of switch clothes between us.
At the suggestion of some of her Facebook group and seeing the local need herself, Pierce said she decided to find a location and open the shop. That was more than 2 years ago. She wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but yearned for a serious project as well. So she often brings her 4-year-old daughter to work as a helper and greeter. See the Red Tricycle's Facebook page or call Pierce at 509-398-8734. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
Thank you, Jeff. Big Bend Community College's commencement ceremony is moving to the college's gymnasium. Administrators decided to move the event inside Wednesday due to concerns about the weather. The ceremony starts at 7 p.m. Friday at the DeVries Activity Center. Graduates should meet at 5:45 p.m. in the Masto Conference Center at the A-Tech building. College President Terry Lease stated officials were concerned about the risk to the crowd, along with sound and electrical systems, after learning about Friday's forecast of rain and wind. Now let's take a look at people currently being sought out by the Grant County Sheriff's Office.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We will be back after this.
Well, one thing I knew from being a patient myself was that a dental office is a scary place to come to. And so we wanted everything possible to make sure that our office is a comfortable place for our patients to visit. The patients that I have, my clients, have made me a part of this community, and we want to give back in every way possible.
What's white and yellow and red all over? If you said the local book telephone directory, the one with the purple sunset on the cover, then you're right. In print and online at statewideyp.com, it features up-to-date local maps, community information, and a calendar of events. With a restaurant dining guide with full local menus and a reverse directory, you're sure to find the number you're looking for. With the local book telephone directory, it's the best way to get the information you need. Pick up a copy of the local book today or visit statewideyp.com.
And hi there, everybody. Meteorologist Don Morelli with you here on iFIBER Channel 1 News Weather. Your forecast brought to you by Bud Cleary Toyota Dealers. Toyota, let's go places. Well, we are looking at a little cooler pattern through the weekend, a little cooler than normal, at least into Monday. The winds, which have been pretty strong at times today, overnight tonight will diminish a little bit. Still some periodic gusty winds, maybe some blowing dust here and there as well. And the periodic clouds and a few showers will hang around, as I mentioned, not only overnight tonight through our Friday, but also it looks like it might actually linger a bit into the weekend. And then we see a little nicer pattern shaping up as we slide into the work week next week. In fact, even getting back into the above normal category. What is normal? Well, 79 is normal. Today we were above normal, so about 3-4 days below normal temperatures are what we're expecting. Record high of 94. 61 was the morning low with the average around 53. And again, there are some showers out there. 1 or 2 actually might be a little hefty in times with maybe even some small hail. 83 and 56 extreme in Moses Lake. And overnight tonight, most of the showers should be dissipating around the area, and we'll look for a rather pleasant night, but the winds will be a little gusty at times, at least through much of the overnight hours, diminishing by sunrise. Look at that wind speed, still 22 miles an hour from the west and northwest. Here's what's going on. We have a frontal boundary moving across and a pocket of cold air above. You sort of get a feel of a counterclockwise circulation. Look at this. Yeah, that pink and blue there indicates even some frozen precipitation way up there in the higher elevations. So that's indications of how cold it is above us. So we get any type of daytime heating at all, an afternoon shower, thunder showers even possible, at least right through the weekend. You can see that we're still in this cool pocket, at least into Sunday, if not into Monday, before we start seeing a little bit of a change. So that's why we're sort of in this cooler than normal and a little unsettled and mostly cloudy period for the next couple of afternoons. So for the forecast on our Friday, see temperatures a little on the cool side, only in the 50s in Port Angeles with the threat of a shower, and again, even in the mid-60s towards the inland northwest. And as we zoom into the Columbia Basin, we may get a little warmer than the 60s, of course, in some areas, but we'll keep it in the 60s because I'm still not overly confident on how much sunshine we'll get, because any sort of heat will just bubble up clouds during the afternoon, and 1 or 2 spotty showers, even a clap of thunder might pop up here. But with the setting sun, any showers that do pop up should dissipate shortly after sunset. So we keep the shower threat a little unsettled and cool right through the weekend, getting back to seasonal levels by Tuesday, and maybe, I might be too optimistic, but back into the upper 80s by midweek next week. So that'll feel good by then, until then a little cool. Well, again, your forecast brought to you by Bud Cleary Toyota Dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Hi, Jan. Welcome to the Toyota Time sales event.
We're looking for something safe with a really smooth ride. He's a very light sleeper.
Oh, the Camry's safe and has a smooth, comfortable ride.
Oh, the Camry's perfect.
And you're in luck. It's Toyota Time, so it's a great time for a great deal.
Yes! You can lease a new 2014.5 Camry for $209 a month for 24 months with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan with roadside assistance included. Plus, get $1,000 bonus cash. Toyota, let's go places.
Searching for that perfect place to settle down? Whether you're looking for an elegant single-story, spacious two-story, or a custom home on acreage, Aho Construction can aid your decision with a streamlined production process that saves time, money, and natural resources. Compare us to other builders and see for yourself what advantages you can get by choosing an Aho home. Our philosophy is that we do things right the first time around. Start planning your dream house today with Aho Construction. Call 509-766-1366.
Welcome back. I'm Bob Kirkpatrick with today's local sports. The Moses Lake Walleyes rallied for a 10-8 win over the Othello Desert Sox at Larson Field last night to take the rubber match of a 3-game series. The teams split a twin bill in Othello Tuesday. It was a real slugfest between the AA American Legion ball clubs as 23 hits were posted on the board. It was also rather a sloppy defensive effort by both teams with 11 errors recorded in the contest. The Desert Sox jumped out to a 3-0 lead in the top of the first inning. The Walleyes closed the gap to 3-1 with a run in the bottom of the third. Othello got one back in the top of the fourth to make it 4-1. The score held up until Moses Lake rallied for 5 runs with 2 outs in the bottom of the fifth to take its first lead of the game, 6-4. The Desert Sox answered back with 4 runs in the top of the sixth to regain the lead. The Walleyes tied it 8-all in the home half of the inning and then added a run in the 7th and 8th inning to win by 2. Anthony Longmire came on in relief of starter Cade Tunstall to record the win. Jared Haddikin picked up the save. The win improves Moses Lake to 2-4 in league play and 4-7 overall. The Walleyes are back on the diamond for a rare morning doubleheader with Ellensburg at Larson Field Tuesday. The first game is scheduled to start at 11. Well, speed is the name of the game for a Warden team that will be competing at the National Junior High School Rodeo in Des Moines, Iowa, June 22nd. Here's Sean Wells with the story.
When it comes to barrel racing, 13-year-old Aubrey Scone from Warden doesn't mess around. Aubrey is soon heading to Des Moines, Iowa to compete in the 10th annual National Junior High Rodeo.
My horse's name is Yellow, and she's 6 years old.
Aubrey says speed is what attracted her to barrel racing, and she hopes she'll have just enough to put her in the top 20 in the first 2 rounds, enough to advance to the final round.
Well, I used to show, and it got kind of boring and slow, so I wanted to start going faster, and barrel racing was fast, so.
Aubrey does admit she will be nervous for nationals.
No, I get nervous a lot.
But that won't stop her from trying to reach her goals.
To at least get in the top 20.
With over 1,000 competitors, the National Junior High Rodeo offers tough competition. Aubrey has a few tips for fellow barrel racers, but doesn't want to give too much away.
Slow work, not so much just running and running. And like stay off the pattern, not always on the pattern. Like go outside of the arena.
Aubrey and Yellow get up as early as 5 a.m. each morning to practice, hoping that hard work pays off. For iFIBER 1 News, Sean Wells.
That's it for sports. We'll be right back after this.
At Moses Lake Community Health Center, we have had the privilege to serve the local communities since 1978.
What I like about working at this clinic more than any other clinic that I've worked at is the patient care. With the patient care team that we've assembled, it allows us to take care of as many facets of the patient and their family's needs.
Please take the opportunity to experience the high-quality care provided at our clinics.
Just when I thought the blizzard couldn't get any better, DQ put the blizzard inside a waffle cone. This is mind-blowing. So when DQ asked me how I would tell the world, I said... Sounds better in Italian.
Pretty impressive, Liz. Any blizzard, like confetti cake, now in a fresh baked waffle cone. This is fan food, not fast food.
Our spotlight story tonight is about a very special rose garden in Soap Lake. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
Everything's coming up roses for Robert Salmons and John Martin. Together they own and operate a commercial rose garden and business called Westmont Park Roses at Hawthorne Road and Road 20 Northwest in Soap Lake. In recent years, Salmons and Martin redeveloped a once-disheveled home site into an elegant, naturally walled-off 2-acre garden. Today it's a showpiece with the fragrant scent of 1,400 rose bushes wafting through the air. And there's still room to grow.
The garden just started here, and it just keeps evolving.
While Salmons is the rose expert, Martin says he's more the student who is learning the business of growing and selling roses. Salmons said Westmont Park Roses is becoming an attraction in Soap Lake.
What it's evolved into is, people wanting to know what's back there, what's there, and it's sort of screaming to be shared a bit. So we've been having garden tours on Thursdays. We've shared more time with friends, doing meals, dinners, relatives, celebrating our lives here with friends and family.
Seeing the potential of the gardens becoming a special events venue, Salmons and Martin have started a project to create a space for staging weddings and the like. But roses are the thing at Westmont, where Salmons and Martin put together bouquets that will be delivered to events and individuals.
We sell to florists in Seattle primarily because they have a market, event planners in Seattle, private individuals also. This is going to a business. We just dug 110 roses out of the garden for a sale in Seattle, a woman who wanted garden in place, wedding coming up in July.
Why grow roses?
Roses are the longest lasting floral, probably. They kind of are very good in this area naturally. The romanticism that goes with a rose. If you go into garden clubs throughout America, nothing is prized more than the garden rose. You know what I mean? It's just the absolute epitome of high-powered floral arrangements. What is in demand and the more cultivated atmospheres in our country.
Salmons said his family and relatives grew gardens in the Midwest, and that is where he became attached to roses as a young man. Salmons said he learned young in life that gardening is good for the soul.
You felt what atmosphere can do to the spirit. So at a young age, you try to implement that in your environment, and starting to create a garden is just part of bettering life.
To set up a Westmont Park garden tour, call John Martin at 509-398-7673. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
We will be right back after this.
We believe in home and all the magical things that come with it. We believe in living rooms with forts made from sofa cushions and blankets. We believe in the man cave, the woman cave, and finally, we believe that our calling in life is to find the home that's perfect for you. Coldwell Banker, fulfilling dreams for over 100 years.
Are you looking to improve your or your child's smile? At Casciati Orthodontics, we make it our mission to make braces more affordable and fun. Our business has proudly served the Columbia Basin for over 20 years, and our new conveniently located state-of-the-art facility offers a relaxing environment full of fun activities for the kids. We accept all types of insurance and have convenient payment plans available. Give us a call for a complimentary evaluation, no referral needed, or check us out on the web and make an appointment online.
A man caught using a stolen credit card is spending 45 days in jail. Reynaldo Garcia, a 20-year-old Quincy man, pleaded guilty to attempted identity theft in the first degree and possession of stolen property in the second degree. Garcia has no previous convictions and was sentenced under a first-time offender waiver. The other person allegedly involved in the crime, a 27-year-old Quincy man, remains charged. The credit card was stolen during an April 13th burglary on Mountain View Drive in Quincy. The burglars stole jewelry, cash, and 5 credit cards from the residence. Garcia reportedly tried to use the credit card to purchase about $400 in items from the Ephrata Walmart and about $30 in gas about 3.5 hours after the burglary was discovered. Columbia Basin Secondary School is preparing for a big change this fall. Students and staff got together to celebrate the future and share memories. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
Columbia Basin Secondary School's end-of-the-year bash on Tuesday was a time of celebrating the future, sharing fond memories, shedding some tears, and a few laughs. Columbia Basin Secondary School in North Moses Lake, which is intended to reduce high school dropout rates through special student programs, will become a neighborhood middle school next year. The change is part of the Moses Lake School Board's solution to student overcrowding. James Yonko, principal at Columbia Basin Secondary School for 5 years, who next year will become a vice principal at Moses Lake High School, explained what the event was all about.
We decided to do this event just to provide an opportunity for the community and the staff to get together one last time, just celebrate the success of Columbia Basin Secondary School, an opportunity to say thank you for 30 years of support.
Ashley Martin graduated from the school last year, and she formed a bond with the school's teachers and students. As a Columbia Basin Community College student looking toward a degree in computer science today, she talked about what the school means to her and how it helped her.
I came here when I was in 6th grade, about 2005, and I wasn't very good academically. I had a problem with an attitude and an anger issue, and they solved all of it. They made me who I am today.
Isliana McAvenue, a junior next school year, will be one of the students moving on to the Columbia Basin Technical Skills Center.
It's positive. A lot of kids are working harder to make themselves prove in that they're not just secondary school, they're not just the second-class students. And I think the negative is a lot of kids have just given up because they're like, my school's closing down, so they're upset.
School representatives sweetened the end-of-the-year bash with grilled food and special treats. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
Thanks, Jeff. In Northwest News, the state Supreme Court has ruled that police dashboard cameras can't be withheld from public disclosure unless they relate to pending litigation. 5 of the High Court's members said today that the Seattle Police Department wrongly used a state statute as a blanket exemption to the state's Public Records Act when it denied providing dashboard camera videos to a reporter with Como TV. Their ruling overturns a 2012 King County Superior Court judge's ruling that said the department could withhold videos for 3 years. The majority awarded Como attorney fees and sent the case back to the lower court. 4 justices argued that the statute was clear that the recordings should not be released to the public until completion of any criminal or civil litigation. The state is setting traps to learn if 4 species of moths that attack wine grapes have moved into Washington. Washington is the 2nd largest grape-growing state in the nation, but vineyards could be damaged if certain species of moths appear. The State Department of Agriculture says it will place up to 1,000 traps this month to catch moths, mostly in central Washington. Traps will be placed in most of the 13 major wine grape growing regions. The traps will be checked every 2 to 4 weeks during the summer. Officials say similar surveys the past 2 years found no sign of destructive moths. The European grapevine moth was found for the first time in the U.S. in 2009 in Napa Valley of California. If you don't like bees, okay. If you run from seeing one single little bee, this story might not be for you. A couple in Connecticut started seeing a bee or two, and after a couple of years, their bedroom was soaked in honey. For CNN, reporter Matthew Campbell has the story.
Bees swarm a honeycomb while unrefined honey drips from a ceiling.
It was like National Geographic, literally the situation was in our home.
What you see now is a far cry from what it looked like when Maurice and Aisha Smith moved into this Garden Street apartment 3 years ago. Back then, the couple says bees were just a minor nuisance.
They just kept getting in the house. Somehow
1 or 2 bees would get in the house, even though we closed all the shutters and the windows.
They say they called management each summer.
As soon as the season gets warm, springtime comes, they come.
But things really got bad this month.
It was every day we were killing like 2 or 3 different bees, and they were getting bigger and bigger as we were killing them.
After years of complaints, exterminators were sent out yesterday and today, and this is what they uncovered. Thousands of bees swarming out of the ceiling, exterminators covered in honey, bees stuck to their suits.
They came and they were overwhelmed. They opened one little crack in the ceiling, honey's dripping out, honeycombs everywhere. They were overwhelmed. The guy's drenched in honey.
Exterminators believe the bees got in through these vents.
We could start a honey factory. Seriously, it's bad.
So we sat down with property manager Linda Reeves.
Tenants were saying that they've been complaining for years about this and nothing has been done until yesterday.
The same exterminator company that we use comes out every year.
With a big hole in the ceiling and honey all over the bedroom, the Smiths are now sleeping in their living room, bees still buzzing around. Management promises them a hotel if the problem isn't cleaned up by tonight.
When you take a look at how much honey and all of this stuff, it looks like they've been there for years.
I don't know. I don't know how long it takes for bees to do whatever bees do.
The management company is based in New York and is aware of the problem. The Smiths will be reimbursed for any damages. Exterminators will now be going through other parts of the building to see if the infestation is affecting other units. That's going to do it for us here at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.